you from going over the edge into your ultimate version of you, right? So what happens is oftentimes we can feel like, I don't know what it is, but I know that I have it. Like I know I have this thing, and I just feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And you can't, sometimes it's like I just can't figure out why this is going on. I feel like I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I feel like I'm supposed to be somewhere different from where I actually am. And I just feel unsatisfied, and I just feel it's not that I'm not happy, and it's not that I'm not fulfilled, because I feel deeply happy in my life. There really is no big substantial problem. And what can happen is, especially for those of you who have done a lot of work in the self-love industry and empowerment, and you've done a lot of work on yourself, is it can feel like you've already done everything that there is to do. And you don't know what it is that would be next. And it's because when you've done a lot of work on yourself, it's hidden, it's beneath the surface. It's not like there's this big obvious thing of, okay, I know that I'm not doing this, or I know I'm not doing that, and I know it's this, and I know it's that. It can be very subtle. Like it can be as subtle as, I feel like I'm holding back, but I can't figure out why I'm doing that, and I really want to not holding back. I really want to not hold back anymore and play small. Like I can tell that I'm doing things just to be nice. And what happens is we can fall into this nice girl mentality, and it can come in different forms. It can come in the form, what it is it's like you can become afraid to really express how you feel, or afraid to really say how you feel because of how you think it may be interpreted, especially with the online space that this can happen, because maybe one time you said something and somebody took it the wrong way, or maybe you said something and it got interpreted the wrong way. And so what happens is, over time, we accidentally hurt people's feelings, and we say something that we feel super passionate about, or we know we feel passionate about, and it's not received in the way that we want it to be received. So we teach ourselves to just put a filter over the words that we say, and a filter over how we show up online and in our lives, in order to make everybody else comfortable. So in doing so, we actually learn to sort of dilute who we actually are. Hi, Runner Costas. I don't know what your actual name is. That's the thing about Instagram, is people come in and you're like, you can't even say hi because you don't know what their actual name is. So anyways, what happens is, because things that have happened that have made us feel hurt, or whatever, they've brought down our self-esteem a little bit, or our confidence in something, because we're like, oh my God, if I say that, I just know people are going to get mad, or if I say that, it could be taken the wrong way. And so we dilute ourselves, and we think, maybe I'm too intense, like maybe I'm just too intense, and I just need to like lower down my intensity a little bit so that it's not too much for people. And it's about really believing and knowing that you aren't too much, you are the perfect portion. And maybe for some people, there is always going to be, no matter how quiet you are, or how not, like how filtered you are, you're still going to be too much for somebody. Like even the girl who is being the shy girl, people are saying, she's too nice. There's like, people are, not everybody's going to like you. And what I've really found is getting yourself to this spot of, it's okay if not everybody agrees with me. It's okay. I'm strong enough to be able to coexist with people who either agree with me or don't agree with me. Like I can completely handle it. But the cool thing is that once you really step into your power, and you know what your message is, and you know what your truth is, and you know what you stand for, and you have practiced that over and over again, because sometimes you discover something about yourself and how you feel, and you go and you express it, and because you're not 100% in it, the universe will test you. You'll have this high of like, oh my God, I feel so amazing. Like I want to tell everybody, I feel like I've had such a breakthrough. And then you'll go and you'll start expressing it to the world, the new you that is broken through. And then someone will say something to just like trigger you down. And also sometimes too, it doesn't even have to be that somebody else does it. It can be that you just do it to yourself. It can be, oh my God, I think my head is getting too big. I think my ego is getting too big. I'm starting to really love myself too much. Or like, I think I'm doing too good. I actually don't want to go out and like hurt people's feelings. I don't want other people to feel smaller than or less than. And because I can't handle hurting somebody's feelings, I'm actually just going to not do it at all. I'm actually not even going to celebrate what I'm doing, what I'm achieving, who I'm becoming, because I don't want to make my clients feel bad, or I don't want to make my mother-in-law feel bad, or I don't want to make my best friend feel bad. And so what we'll actually do is we'll manipulate ourselves and we'll trick ourselves, because it comes in these hidden forms. It's just an excuse to shrink is all it is it's this thing will come at you and it'll be like, okay, you are on fire, girl. Like, you are so amazing. You're so hot. I feel so good. And then your brain will go off and it'll say, warning, warning, meh, meh, meh. You're getting too egotistic. Warning, warning, meh, meh. People aren't going to like this. Warning, warning, meh, meh. Like, you could hurt somebody's feelings. And all it really is just an illusion to keep you safe. And so what happens is it actually prevents us from being able to step into who we really are, step over the edge into our next level self, right? Because we're always on the verge of our next level self. There's an edge there. And when you can go over the edge, you will be able to step into that higher version of you. But for as long as you're playing it safe, and as long as you're playing it stable, and as long as you're playing it sturdy to stay within the guidelines of what's acceptable and what's consistent and what's a good foundation and what you know people want to hear, or what you know people want to talk about, that's going to keep you in this safe energy. And when you think about safe energy is consistent and it's predictable, right? So it's like what people expect from you is the predictable area of safety. Nobody's going to get really irate with you. People are used to you at this level, so you'll stay in this safe level. And if you look at an income level as well, a safe income level is a stable flat line. But what you want in your business and in your income and in your life is to skyrocket, that doesn't look the same as this, right? So you've got to be willing to step away from this flatline safety area that honestly is just boring. You can admit it to yourself. Where in your life are you bored right now? Because wherever it is in your life that you're bored, that you're not learning anymore, that you're not learning anything new, like you've mastered it. And again, because this is what can happen, especially in businesses, you can master one area and you have become like, it's almost like you're peaked out at this area and you know you slay it, you know you're amazing, you're completely 100% confident in this one area. But then even though that is amazing because you've mastered it, it's just the highest level of safe. That's all it is. And so being in this area, it can often trick you into thinking that you don't need to grow because you've mastered it, but it's not actually about growing. It's not about needing a business coach. It's not about that. We all know that like our businesses and our money and our finances are just a byproduct of who we actually are, right? So at this point, when you feel like you've mastered a certain piece of your career, a certain piece of your life, then what's needed is to step outside of the comfort zone and go to the next level of self-mastery, the next level of your relationship with yourself. So it's not about marketing tools. It's not about how do I promote my business. It's not about how do I give the perfect haircut? How do I give the perfect coaching call? How do I whatever? It's like you've mastered that. It's like you already know how to give the perfect haircut. You already know how to do the perfect balayage. You already know how to teach people how to scale from 0 to 10K. You already know how to help people in relationship coaching. So there's the spot that you've mastered. And what is next is your next level of mastery. So where is it that you're not stepping over the edge into something that isn't safe and that is something that you secretly want to do? Because secretly you know what you want to do. And again, what can happen is we can tell ourselves things like, oh, I got to think about it. You know what? I really need to think about it because I don't think that right now is the right time. I think my schedule is too busy. My schedule is too packed. So like, I just need to think about it and sit on it. But the reality is, and I'm not saying it's bad to think about things, but the reality is you know already. You already know. You actually don't need to think about anything in your heart. Your heart always knows at all times what it really wants and what it really desires. And the only reason you would need to think about it is because there's doubt in there, right? So the faster you're able to just not doubt and the faster you're able to just make a decision and know what you want and follow your gut, the easier it is going to be to skyrocket to your next income level, to your next business, to your next body, to your next whatever. So this is what it really comes down to, is learning that you can trust yourself and you can trust the thing that you want, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it feels like it's not the right time, be willing to like go ahead and do it anyways. That's what the amazing piece is. So when we're looking at identifying your edge, it's like the thing that's just right on the other side. And some of us can be so on the cusp. And because it's ingrained in there so deeply and it's hidden underneath the surface, and this is what happened to me for a long time, was that because I've been in the industry for so long that I'm in, and because I've worked on myself for so long and I've had mentors and stuff like that, you can kind of think that you've capped out and you can kind of think that you pretty much know everything. But no matter no matter where you are, there's always another level of knowing, right? Like Oprah has a coach and Oprah's coach has a coach and that coach has a coach somewhere. So it's like, maybe you already have a really amazing body, but you're not showing it, you're not flaunting it, you're not stepping into it. And really identifying what is the reason why you're not doing that. Or maybe you have like an incredible body, but you're yet to master relationship with men. Or maybe you've mastered your marriage and your family life, but your body is suffering. So all of us have this different edge, and all of us have something that's on the other side of, like, what mastery level is on the other side of the edge for you? What is the next thing that you need to work on for yourself? Because there always is something. And our past experiences, they prevent us from really being able to have the confidence to step into those things, because we're worried that we're going to go backwards, or we're worried about whatever. So even if you take, for example, there's like, when you first have kids, hi Ricky, you are going through, when you first become a mom, your life is just so busy. And what happens is your cup just gets so empty. And eventually you do get through those super hard years. Like I would say the first year after having a child is your hardest year. So in that year, your cup can often become so empty that you're forced to kind of like make a lot of structure in your life. And it puts you into like, okay, I really need a lot of structure. I need a lot of rules and I need a lot of boundaries in order to be able to stay safe and to be able to, for us to be able to function as a family, and for me to also be able to get this, and this done and to survive. So during the first year that you birth a business, or the first year that you birth a baby, it's like you just need to kind of survive. You just need to get through day to day. And then what happens is you pass that phase. But mentally you can stay stuck in it. So you can be stuck in this I need to survive mode and not even realize that what it is you're actually ready to thrive, that all of your foundation work has already been done, and that your life just gets to be easier now. But because you're stuck in the mentality of new mom, or you're stuck in the mentality of new business owner who's in the hustle, it can prevent you from skyrocketing, because what you do is you focus on the foundation. So if you're constantly focused on a foundation of just like, I need to get by. So I need to get by is like, I need to make sure I'm just healthy. I need, like, even if I just have a chubby body that's like pretty healthy and I'm pretty good and I feel good, that's like, I'm good, I'm consistent, I'm stable, I have a foundation. So your foundation is like healthy, your foundation is consistency, your foundation is that. And if you want to skyrocket into hot, if you want to skyrocket into unlimited income, if you want to skyrocket into achieving dreams, you've got to be willing to go outside of this is comfortable. So comfortable is the old t-shirt that's in the drawer. Comfortable is throwing on your husband's jogging pants and, ignoring the fact that your tummy isn't exactly where you want it to be. That's comfortable. It's no real threat, right? It's not like I feel awful. It's not like I'm the biggest I've ever been. It's like, okay, I'm pretty good. So you've got to be willing to take a step out of pretty good into, oh my God, I'm freaked out, but I'm like super excited too. Like, oh my God, I'm joining Tasha's program and I'm like freaked out, but like I can't wait, but I'm also low-key scared. Like that is the kind of rush that you're looking for, because it's going to turn you into a different type of woman. It's going to turn you into the type of woman who decides she's going to make a change and becomes a badass and does it, and who can go to the lake and flaunt her bikini body with her thong possibly in the back and like, yeah, you like that? kiss it, moms. Like the kind of person who can have a conversation with her kid's teacher, and maybe her kid's teacher is saying something that she doesn't necessarily agree with, and she can speak up and say, you know what, thank you for your point of view. This is actually how I feel about this, and how can we get to this? Like, I'm seeing that my child isn't doing good in this, and this area. And so how can we work together to get to this point, instead of just saying, oh, okay, and then going home and bitching to your husband about it and bitching to your friends about it and being like, I feel like she's just this, or I feel like she's just that, and I really want it to change, but like, I don't know how. Like, being the person who, instead of bitching to her best friends and husband about it, is actually saying what she feels up front. Hi, yellow shirt, Vane Reles Crisis. Can you tell me, if you want, you can just comment your name below so that I can actually know what your name is. So anyways, the point is to be the person, because you know how you have your safe people. So you've got like your husband, you've got like your best friends, and they're the people that you say exactly how you feel. They get the uncensored version of you, which you think is the worst version of you, but it's actually not. And then you go into public and you talk to the other moms and you talk to the teachers and you talk to the clients, and you become this filtered version of yourself because you think you need to be polite, because you think that you need to say what people want to hear, because you think you need to not hurt people's feelings or whatever. And it really, you think you're too much, or you think that people won't get your sense of humor, or you think that they won't want to laugh at a fart joke with you. Like, you make up all these things when really all you're doing is not letting people know the real version of you. And so we're just walking around as filtered robots is what that becomes. So the edge class is really about being able to say, like, what is on the other edge for me? What's on the cliff that feels a little dangerous, feels a little risky, but I'm here for it. I'm ready to take the leap over to the edge. Like, where in my life am I just feeling a little not as satisfied as I would want to feel? And so Ricky, I don't know if you are still here watching this, but my feeling for you is that, number one, if you were to like slim down your midsection, I feel like that would be life-changing for you. And I'm not basing this on any, like, I'm literally just basing this off like your bubble and what I feel in my intuition. Like, I'm not saying anything about what I've, like, I'm not even sure who specifically you are. I might have passed you before, but anyways, my feeling is that there's a little bit of second guessing. Like, someone might say something to you and you're like, I feel like that was rude, but then you're like, you try to see the best in them, but then really you're like, no, they are rude. Yeah, they're rude, but I need to like ask my best friend, was that rude? I feel like that was rude. And then you can get all riled up in your head and you're like, oh, I should have said this, or, oh, I should have said that. So Ricky, I feel like you're kind of in the spot where someone will say or do something, and then you'll be really nice in the moment, but then afterwards you'll go home and be a little bit sad about it, and then get a little bit pissy pants about it, and then think of all the things that you wish you said, or you should have said, or fuck that bitch, and then you sit there and eat your popcorn and eat your chips and like, fuck that bitch. Like, it's true. We don't like her, Ricky. We don't like her. We hate her. It's true. Fuck that bitch. So what I would be here to help you with is like becoming the person who actually says the comeback in that moment because she's that sure of herself. Do you know what I mean? That would be my vision for you and for us. So there's like your ultimate hotness. And here's the thing is, when you step into your ultimate hotness, that just helps you even more be sure of yourself. Like, when you know that you've been taking care of yourself, and you know you've been slaying it in the gym, and you've been eating healthy, and you've been communicating really well with your husband, and you know, like, for you, Ricky, I feel like are you a mom? Because I feel like you're a mom and that you're really good with it. Like, I see a child that you're very good with communicating to and staying patient. And where I think that this comes in as like it's amazing quality to have with your kids, but I think you take that patience and you apply it to adults who are not children. They don't deserve that type of patience with you. I feel like you are just like this saint as far as patience goes, but adults take it too far, and it's like if you could just be a little bit more short-tempered with adults and like stand your ground a little more and stand your backbone a little bit more, I feel like that would be so life-changing for you. And it's not about being a bitch. It's about saying how you feel in the moment, not holding on to all the feelings that you should have said and then stuffing them down. Because that's what I feel like is happening. Something happens in your life, you get discouraged about it, or you get upset about it, or you get a little bit stressed out about it, and you always know it's nothing that you can't handle. Like, I feel like you're always like, I know that I got this, it's really not that big of a deal, but it always sits on your shoulders for a while. Like, it feels like it just sits there, and it's heavy, and you don't really tell a lot of people, like you don't feel like it's worth talking about, or you don't feel like, and you know what that comes down to is that you don't feel worth talking about. When you don't feel worth it, when it doesn't feel worth it to talk about your feelings, it doesn't feel worth it. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it's like pick your battles and let's just let it go and like move on. Sometimes that is it, but also sometimes you're worth standing up for yourself. That's kind of my feeling. And it's not that you have these big dramatic situations. It has more to do with there's things that you're educated on and there's things that you deserve to have a say in, and you're maybe just not vocalizing it. So what we would help you do if you did the Edge Masterclass, or if you did, for you specifically, Ricky, I'm thinking Food Freedom Acceleration would be a really amazing thing for you, just because I feel like your confidence and body is a piece of it. But if you wanted to just start with something small, you could do the Edge Masterclass if you want to work on like the inner stuff, because there's the body is the shell, and then there's the inner stuff. So my masterclasses are really great for working on the mindset and the inner stuff and the inner tools. And Food Freedom gives you a combo of both. It gives you the tools on losing weight and becoming more confident in your body and getting to know your body and getting to know your food and your metabolism and everything like that. And that's like your outer, so that your outer can match your inner. So I think that, like, Ricky, you're so good at teaching other people things. Like, you're so good at mapping out plans for things. You're so good at like, okay, what do we want to do as a family, or what do we want to do? Oh, hi. Okay, so it always throws me off when I can't see your name here, but hi, can you comment your name? Danielle, right? For Feminine Frequency Rising, that's Danielle. So anyways, Ricky, I feel like you are so good at mapping out plans that include a benefit for everybody. And if you could take that ability to map out a plan, like let's say normally you would have been mapping out your vacation for your family or something like that. Yes, Danielle, I knew it. How can you say, I want a vacation for me. I want something special for me. I want to do something for me. And what's it going to take, and what's it going to be, and how do I want to design this for myself? So if you were planning your dream vacation, let's say, and it's going to be your dream body, and Danielle, I have a intuitive download for you after this. So Ricky, if you were planning your dream vacation, which would be your dream body in this scenario, you want to say, how do I want this to feel? What kind of vacation do I want it to be? Do I want it to be like loose and not structured? Do I like structure? Do I like a plan? How's it going to work for me? And I also want to be able to have fun, and I want my family to be involved as well. So what's it going to take? Number one, I need to decide, where am I going? Where do I want to go? What does this dream body look like? Who's going to be going with me? So who's in my life? Who does this also need to work for? And I get to design, it's my vacation. So yes, I want it to work for my kids and my husband and my job and all that, but it's for me. So I actually get to be the leader of this vacation, dream body. So what are the tools I'm going to need? How can I prepare myself? And what's the final destination, and who do I want to go along with me? So when you're looking at coaches and stuff like that, it's like, who's living the type of lifestyle that I could kind of like foresee that I would want to do. Yes, map out your dream body. Yes, Danielle, because your body is always telling you things, and it will tell you in a whisper, or it will tell you in a loud scream. And if you don't listen to the whispers, it's going to start to scream at you. So the whisper is low energy. The whisper is insomnia. The whisper is anxiety, depression, pimples, hair falling out. The punching in the face when you don't listen is extreme weight gain, is getting sick, is extreme acne, is bloating in the face, your cheeks really puffing up, 20 pounds, like lashing out at people, that's the extreme. So it's about being able to listen to those subtle whispers before it becomes an extreme. So anyways, Ricky, for you specifically, I feel like Food Freedom Acceleration would be good if you want to go all into your weight loss. If you want to go into mindset, you could do the Edge Masterclass, or you could do the Breakthrough Masterclass, which touches on motivation, time management, and making yourself priority. So the Breakthrough Masterclass is $111. My body was screaming till I started with your meal plan. Yay! That's amazing. So Ricky, $111 for Breakthrough Masterclass, or $1,333 for Food Freedom, because now that you have the meal plan, right, and you've started exercising and stuff like that, if you want to go deeper, you would probably want to go into Food Freedom Acceleration, because then we can really talk about, okay, now I know what to do, but I also need to be the person who's doing it. So I need to really deepen my relationship with myself. And I know that I fall off track when I get into arguments with people, or when I'm resentful and when I'm holding on my feelings. So you actually need to learn the skills on how to communicate, even if it's how to communicate with yourself. Because I feel like you constantly try to justify other people, and you try to justify, hi to Maisie, you try to justify their behavior just like you would a child. So the adult population does not deserve the same patience and love as your children do. They're not children. They can be responsible for their own shit. So, Ricky, Food Freedom Acceleration. Danielle, are you still there? Because I had this thing where I was like, I don't know how it came to me, but it was on a run, and you popped into my head. And it was about your body and being able to treat your body like it was your soulmate, right? And I'm saying this, Danielle, because I know that your area of expertise is relationship coaching. Like, I know that that's your thing, and it's really about being able to, okay, let me just tap in. Okay, so I feel like you are so good at reading signals from other people. You're so good at reading the situation. You're so good at, okay, I feel it like so much in my solar plexus, or like down here when I really think about you. And what I feel is that you're so tapped into, and you're so tuned into other people's desires, and allowing those things to come to fruition, and basically being a tool for other people to bring that dream into life, that you've almost taken on your job and the things that you do for people is storing in your tummy also as fat, because you've learned how to read other people. And as you learn how to read other people and you don't fully say the thing, because what happens is, as a professional, you know not to just go around giving unsolicited advice. So I feel like there's a lot of family members and stuff around you that there's things that you're like, I know it's this, and this, but I'm just not going to go there. Like, it's just not my place. But what happens is, I don't know what's going on, but there's a lack of filtration of being able to let go of that stuff. This constant feeling of it's nagging in the back of my head, or this constant feeling of worrying about someone, or this constant feeling of like, I feel like this person should be doing this other thing. And so, hi, Crystal. What it does is you hang on to these feelings, and you might not even be knowing that you're going to be doing it. It can just feel like this little tiny nag, and it's also in your neck and in the back of your shoulders, and it makes your body feel heavy, and it brings down your energy, and it actually prevents you from doing workouts. So there's a low energy and a lower frequency that's hanging on to your body that's actually not yours. And also, when you think about, you're so in tune with other people's soul passions and desires, and being able to connect with other people, that what can happen is, what gets in the way is you connecting with yourself. So when you look, Danielle, at the things that your body has been telling you, like, I don't care what your body's saying, fasting is not the way to go. So I hope that you've stopped that. But also, let's say if you were thinking about getting into a relationship with your soulmate, because I know this is your area of expertise. So you're like, okay, how do you communicate with your soulmate? And your body is your soulmate. Okay, so if your body is your best friend, your body is your soulmate, your body is the man of your dreams, and he's all up in your business all the time, are you listening to him? Are you tuning into him? Because I feel like you're constantly tuning into the outer world, because that's your job. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. So just a little bit more time to come within and tune into actually your body and the shell of your body and the shape of your body and what it's saying to you and where are you holding fat. Yay, Danielle, I'm so glad you did that. So, and the key is, okay, so where are you holding your fat and what is it saying to you? Okay, so Danielle, tune into your body right now. And when you tune into what you desire to have, and when you tune into where it feels the heaviest, tap into your body. Where do you feel it? Tell me that. Where do you feel it inside your body? And then we'll work from there. Because the other thing is, because I know that you've been fasting, so now you're going to be eating a little bit more, but you've got to know how to eat a little bit more so that you don't just start gaining weight like crazy. Because your body has also metabolized to one certain thing. And it's about, okay, it's in your tummy. So it's about being able to work in more foods and nourish yourself in the correct portions and in the correct ways. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be like, oh my God, I gained weight and it's because I stopped fasting and I have to go back to fasting. And you're going to blame it on the fact that you're not fasting anymore, but that's not actually the truth. It's just that you didn't like fully do it properly. So if you feel it in your tummy is your core, right? So you really want to tap into your core values and your core beliefs on relationships, because I feel like that's where you're strong. And then you want to look at your body like it's a complete relationship, and you want to look at, okay, me and my body are about to go, I'm about to light it up here with my body, and we are going on the honeymoon of our dreams and we're going to get married. So what are the things that I need to know, and how can we be in communication with each other to both get to where we want to be in a healthy way that gives us both the result that we want? And because I actually feel like it's spread out everywhere, like there's a little bit of everything that you could work on. So what that also means is that you're very well-rounded. So when you're very well-rounded, you will also gain weight kind of all over the place because you have many different skills. So it's how can I use, because right now your skills I feel are actually being used against you because you're constantly tuning into the desires of other people, because it fills your heart and it fills your soul and it makes you feel so good when you're able to give that to somebody. Like I just feel this genuine connection and dedication to your work. So what if you were that dedicated to your body? Because what I know for sure is your energy would come up for sure. It's not even I think, it's I know this in my bones. Your energy would come up. Your enthusiasm would come up, even though it's already amazing. Your love of life would come up, and the way that you communicate and your enthusiasm on yourself would actually make clients, you would start attracting clients who are like, I want in with her. Like they'd be enthusiastic about you. So the more enthusiastic you are about yourself, the more you're going to attract clients who are enthusiastic about you, right? Just like how you would teach someone about finding their dream man. So what is your body asking you? Excuse me, I'm doing the burp thing. Must be because I'm channeling. What is your body asking you? And which part of it are you ignoring? And because when I look at it, I feel like your body wants some more carbs. And I feel like sleep is a thing that you might need to work on, sleep or quality of sleep. I don't know if you're sleeping too much or too little or whatever, but I feel like sleep is a thing. And work-life balance, and really applying that enthusiasm that you have towards your clients and your soul calling there and putting it into your body. So what I feel for you is, if you decided to do something with me, probably a one-on-one phone call of nutrition coaching, depending on how you're eating. Like if you just want to go to eating normal and eating all food groups, or doing vegetarian, you could just do Food Freedom Acceleration. If you want to do vegan, then a one-on-one phone call with me, which is $1,500 for a 90-minute intensive. So that's what I would say for you, because the food thing, that's like, let's just scratch that off the board. That's the very first thing. My body wants to disconnect and eat healthy on weekends. Yeah. And so what I would say, Danielle, is what does it want to disconnect from? Because again, I think it's I think what can happen is accidentally you can become not balanced because you're putting so much into other people because you actually do enjoy it. Like, what can happen is anything of too much that you enjoy becomes too much, right? I just feel that you're tired at the end of the day. So you could ease back a little bit on whatever you're doing in the day. Oh, social media. And then put that a little bit more into yourself. I think that would be amazing for you, and get better on weekends. And you know what? This is also attached to the reason why you're eating poorly on weekends is, number one, because of the fasting thing that you were doing, but then number two, because of the workload through the week. So if you actually lightened your workload through your week, then it would be a little bit better. Because if you look at what you've been doing, is you've been running like a workhorse on empty. You've been doing this fasting for however many hours, and you've been running your body and your nutrients on zero, which is even harder on your body, and it's even harder on your intuition, and you're capable of it. You can absolutely do it. But guess what? The next phase I feel for you is just so much overflowing happiness and wealth. And like, I just see you like eating grapes. Okay, this is my hot version of you. This is my my hotness vision of you. You're like wearing goddess clothes. So whether that be a shirt like this, or whether it be a white silk robe, or maybe it's a black silk robe. Maybe you want to throw a twist on it. You're like eating grapes, and you're not fasting in this. You're not fasting, okay? And you're eating grapes, which are carbs and sugar. Oh my God. And you're eating grapes, and you're like eating them really sexual. And then maybe you're even doing a video of it, or maybe you're like teasing your husband or something. And you're eating the grapes and you're loving them, and you're not thinking about what your body looks like. You're just eating the fucking juicy grapes, and maybe there's like some grape juice coming down you're coming down right here. And they're so good. And then you're eating them, and maybe you're just like doing this, and you're doing this, and you're just like looking so hot while you eat the grapes. That's my that's my hotness vision of you. And perhaps you might even have like a hairpiece. So maybe you even have like some flowers in your hair or something. And there's like gorgeous bedding. Like you just like floof down into this gorgeous bedding. And it's divine, and it's expensive, and it's like the highest thread count. And it's something that you bought when you like wanted to really like treasure yourself. Like maybe it was like a goal, like it was your first 10 pounds, and it was your courage to jump into a program. Because what I feel like right now is you're just literally so scared to gain weight. Like I just feel like you're so scared to gain weight, and you know that like it's freaky to stop fasting, but you're willing to do it and you want to do it, but you're just so scared to gain the weight. And you're almost like want to do it your own way. You're like, okay, I'm going to stop fasting, when I'm going to do it very gradually and very slowly. And then I'm going to call Tasha, because I want to ease into it first. And I know Tasha's going to tell me to eat way more than that, but I'm too scared to do that. And that's fine. You can totally do that. But it's like, if fear didn't exist and you just allowed yourself to have everything that you wanted right now, and you didn't have to think about it, and you could just run your thoughts through a filter of fear, and you could just focus on all the water that you're drinking. And like, I feel like you could drink like chilled tea and things like that. And you could eat more vegetables, and that's what you could do. You could start on incorporating a lot more vegetables into when you typically would fast. And I feel like that would help you to feel not freaked out. So that's what I feel like would be really good for you, is to run everything through, run the filter through a filter of gold, passion, desire, knowing that you deserve what you want, and that you can't fuck anything up, and that it's all a piece of the learning, and that you're going to be that fucking goddess eating the grapes, girl. Green ones. Well, I don't know. Do you want green? Do you want red? Specifically seedless. All right. So, yeah. Demazy, are you still here? Let's talk about your hotness vision, because it's juicy. I feel like you're eating a lime. Okay, this is your hotness vision. This is your hotness vision, Demazy. You have a lime, and you're like, have it cut in half, and you're like maybe you're making margaritas, or maybe you're making like a smoothie with like acai berries and seeds, and you're like getting ready to go on this call with your shaman, and you're going to do all the spiritual things, and you have all these amazing spiritual people in your life, and they love you for who you are because you have fully shown them. You've not just shown them the spiritual side of you, you've shown them the real you, whether or not they could handle it or not. You like, in this world, in this dream world, you're always allowed to be you. You're always allowed to be spicy. You're allowed to not be spicy. You're allowed to be dull. You're allowed to be vanilla. You're allowed to be anything that you want. And you don't change who you are according to who you're around. Does that mean that you're going to go to the shaman and start saying, that pussy can lick, that bitch can lick my motherfucking pussy? Maybe you're not going to talk like that to the shaman, but you're going to be stacked with people who really love you for who you are. So you're getting ready to go on your call with your shaman. And I feel like in this vision, you constantly are going to the beach, and you're always wearing clothes that show off your body, and you're always looking at your cleavage, and you always think it's hot, and you're like cutting these limes, and then you're like sucking on the lime, and then you're like squeezing the lime on your body, and it's so juicy. Your body is super juicy, and it's like running down you, and then I'm taking pictures of you squeezing the lime on your body, because that's what you are. You're a spicy margarita. That's what you are, Demazy. You're the margarita of life. That's what I feel like you are. And you're gonna find a guy who wants himself a margarita, and he ain't expecting iced tea. He signed up for a margarita. He's not expecting sugar-free iced tea, because that's not what you are. You're a margarita with an extra shot and salt on the rim. Let's not forget that. So if you were a drink, that's what you would be. Oh, I didn't know this was going to be so fun. So Demazy did my 10-day one-on-one coaching package, which was amazing. So I feel like because I know that you want to go into like the bigger one-on-one coaching, if you wanted to do just in the meantime, the Edge Masterclass, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer. It's $200 for the, pre-sale price. And we could talk more about what we think needs to happen with your edge, and about being able to keep your edge without cutting everybody's throat. Because that's where I feel like you're sort of at. It's like, you got the edge, babe, but like that edge tends to cut people sometimes. And it's not even about softening your edge. It's more about just learning what your edge actually is, and where to apply it, and when to know how to put the sword down. Because sometimes you're going to have to pick up that sword. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, send me the edge. Yay. Sometimes you're going to have to pick up the sword, and you're going to have to fight, but it doesn't need to be this every fucking day thing, which is where I currently feel like you're at, constantly manifesting situations where your edge is needed. Because, okay, so with Demazy, for example, your edge is so sharp and it's so powerful, and you know that it's powerful, and it's so much that you're constantly putting yourself into situations where your edge is needed. So my next step for you would be to be able to step out of your edge and into your softness with still having that edge present. Like, when you go and you're with a guy or whatever, he knows, he can see on the wall there that there's a sword if it needs to be used, but he doesn't want to see it. Like, he wants you guys to have a great time, and you want to have a great time, and it's just not necessary. Like, I feel like the next step for you is manifesting into your life the people who could handle your edge if they had it, but it just would never be necessary. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I look at, the light is doing something weird here to my nose. If I look at my relationship with my husband, it's like there's always a sass in me, and there's always that, and we would get in arguments, but there would just never be a reason for us to have a big, huge lash out fight. But like, bickering happens often, but it's very short-lived. Do you know what I mean? And the reason why it's short-lived is because both of us say exactly what we're feeling, and we both can handle each other, and we both trust each other, and we say it right away, but we don't say it in vindictive ways. And we also know how to use humor and laugh it off. Because the perfect situation where you just never fight with anyone, I mean, I'm sure that could exist depending on your personality, but it's more about knowing how to fight smarter instead of fight meaner. Do you know what I mean? Know how to fight smarter, know how to draw your boundary faster, and not let yourself be pushed to that limit where you just fucking explode and lose your mind. And then that spicy margarita just splashed itself all over everybody's face. So it's amazing. That would be my vision for you. Who else wants a vision while I'm on here? So the next things, so I've got lots of different ways that you can work with me now, is that if you know that part of stepping into your edge requires you to lose weight, then you can do Food Freedom Acceleration, or you can do my level 2 program. So level 2 starts at $350 and it gives you all of the how-tos, and you can do it on self-paced, and it also teaches you about navigating your life. Crystal, yay. Okay, so Crystal, I think that this is my first time seeing you on a live, so yay, I'm so happy to see you here. So Crystal, I want you to tap into your edge. So if I say your edge and the thing that like makes you uniquely you, and what could possibly exist on the next level of the edge, where do you feel it in your body? Because okay, so you tell me that right now. And so when I tap into you, it's like instantly right here, like I literally feel like I'm almost being strangled. And what that makes me feel like is, it's not even I think, it's like you're not saying how you feel. Yeah, and so it can manifest into your chest. Okay, this makes sense. So when I feel into your chest, it's almost like this numb feeling of like, I just can't deal. I just can't deal. So I'm just going to fucking shut down. I'm just going to cut off. And so I'm just going to avoid. I feel like that's probably your tactic when things aren't going well. You just avoid, you just decompress, you just put a wall up that is so thick that nobody can talk to you, nobody can say, you just like numb out from the world. And so in the shutting down, what happens is this very heavy pull. You're right. I've become more aware of all this, what I've been holding back. Yeah. And it's not even specifically for you that you're holding back from a certain person. It's more like you're holding back from yourself. You're holding back from feeling things that you don't want to feel, because it's almost like something like stress has been too much in the past. And so you trained yourself. This is what happens when you can't handle trauma. And trauma can be just severe stress. It can be all sorts of stuff. But when something really big and profound happens, or thing after thing after thing after thing after thing after thing happens, and it just piles all up into one and you can't take it anymore, you're like, I just can't, I don't care enough to fight. Like, I just don't fucking care. So I'm just going to nothing. I'm just going to know. I'm just going to zero out. And so you just completely zone out on life. And it's just constantly like this thing, almost like a child sitting on your chest. And like, ugh, I can't breathe. Ugh, I'll just deal with it. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'll just deal with it. And then as you don't deal with it, the heaviness just gets heavier and heavier and heavier. So what it does is it brings down your energy and it makes you bland. Because for as long as you're like, I can't feel, I can't do this, I'm just going to shut down, it also disallows you from being able to feel spikes of happiness. Like, it feels like you haven't had a good laugh in a long time, like a good hard snort in your nose, spit out your beer kind of laugh, like eating your burger and you just said that, oh my God, you just said that. So there's a couple of things that this could be. Surrounded by dull people that you just don't give a shit about. That could be one thing. Also, I don't know if you have kids, but if you're only around kids ever and you don't have a lot of time around like other women or like adult interaction, it's always just work or kids, that can be very dull and very boring, because it just feels like very clogged down, and this can clog down your arteries and it makes you hold on to weight as well. So I feel like when you sit down, it's just very uncomfortable to feel things kind of like spill out in a way that you don't like. And that it used to be on such a smaller scale, but even when it was there, it still bugged you. Like, if it's like your tummy has bugged you for a long time, possibly a majority of your adult life. And so now is the chance for, like, I feel like you thinking that it can shrink or be smaller isn't even really in your awareness or something that you even think is possible for you. It just seems like something skinny girls do. So what I would say is absolutely you can. Yes, of course that you can, right? And But what's important is that you've never actually been taught. Like if there's been a moment where you've tried, like let's say you tried by doing a cleanse, or you tried by doing a detox, or you tried by going to the gym 10 days in a row or something like that, and you didn't get the results that you want, it's just because you needed a new method. And it's just the universe's way of saying, do you really want this? Because I feel like getting up and going to the gym isn't your favorite pastime. It's not something that you enjoy, but it's because you didn't enjoy the lack of results. It's not that you didn't like the gym itself. So if you just look at just the gym and you just look at going for a walk or getting on the treadmill or whatever, if you look at just that by itself, I don't think that you hate that. I think you hate the fact that you do it and you don't get a result, which feels discouraging. That's what you don't like. So the reason why you didn't get the results is because you didn't actually learn how to eat in a way for your life and for you personally in order to stay enthusiastic about life. So what I would want for you is to, number one, believe in yourself and know that you can do this. And I know it sounds like I'm just saying this because I'm here, but like I'm not just pulling this shit out of my asshole. Like I'm saying this because I truly feel it and it's coming through my body for you. So if you were to be able to eat things that make you excited, like I feel like you love fruit, you love maybe oranges or like citrus stuff, like eating fresh fruits that can feel healthy while you eat them, and drinking water. Like when you do eat healthy, I feel like you enjoy it. But then you get stuck on the fact that you've been eating healthy and you've not gotten results. And the reason why is because eating healthy doesn't guarantee weight loss. Eating healthy guarantees being healthy. Weight loss means you need to eat for hotness, which means you need to be a little bit more precise. So being able to eat specific food groups, pair them together properly, and time them properly, like eating an apple at 6 a.m. is going to give you a different result than eating an apple at 10 p.m. or 6 p.m. Like you can take the exact same meal. You can take a McDonald's Big Mac and you can eat it at 6 a.m. and it's going to give you a different result than 6 p.m. You can take a McDonald's Big Mac and you can eat the bun and then 3 hours later the meat and then 3 hours later the cheese, and that will give you a different result. Like it's not just about I need to reduce calories or I need to eat less junk food when you want results and you want to be hot. And I know that seems so far-fetched right now, but it's absolutely possible. Like I literally see you in your hotness. Let's see. Black leather bomber jacket, black jeans done up like a mid-size waist, black belt, rips in the jeans, boot stompers, like moto boots, and like some sort of t-shirt that's like tucked in. That's what I see for you in your hotness. Makes sense, yes. Sheena, hi. So anyways, the key is having something that, because right now I feel like you don't necessarily believe you can do it, but what do you believe that you could do? Like if I was like, okay, what if we found a plan that was specifically for you? And what if we looked at all the food that you normally would have, and I would actually just teach you how to portion it differently and how to pair it differently and how to time it differently so that we could look at how that works with your life. So take all of the food that you already eat, and then I would teach you just how to tweak it to be healthier. And then you would know that you can do it because it's what you've always been eating. Just the portions are tweaked and the timing is tweaked. And here are some really easy ideas for snacks. Here's an apple and some cheese for a snack that you don't have to cook literally at all. Here are 10 items that you can have in your cupboard at all times for if you can't cook and you don't want to cook and you don't have time to cook. Because you don't have to spend an eternity in the kitchen at all. So Crystal, my vibe for you is that you should do either Food Freedom Acceleration. It's 1,333 and it comes with my cookbook, and it comes with a build your own meal plan template, a grocery haul, and also your relationship with yourself, because there's obviously some really deep codes in there on why you keep going into shutdown and numbing mode. Or you could do my level 2 program, which is $350 a month, or you can do numerous months. And it's just a little bit slower paced and a little bit more surface. So those are the two options. Yay, I'm manifesting to work with you. And then the other thing you can do if you just want to like get a little introductory, if you're like, okay, I feel in the vibes right now, you can just do my cookbook. Or you can just do, you know what would be perfect for you? Either just my cookbook or just my breakthrough masterclass, because those are both only $111. And it's like a taste of being in my world. And the Breakthrough Masterclass goes into motivation and really learning why you're not motivated, because that means you're disconnected from your purpose and your power. So why you're not motivated and why you're not doing the thing that you know that you should do. Time management, why you keep putting yourself to the bottom of the pile, and also learning how to isolate different things so that you're not going into shutdown or shove down mode, which for sure you're going into shutdown mode, Crystal. So Breakthrough Masterclass, which is only $111. That's like honestly a no-brainer. It's like something to work on while you know that you have goals to go into something bigger. Sheena, are you still here? Who else is here? All this channeling, I'm starting to get a clogged throat. Katerina, and yeah, I shut down so fast. And until you learn how to handle that shutdown mode, it will be difficult to get results, because every time something drastic comes up, your body will automatically do that. So the cool thing is that you can actually train yourself not to do that anymore. And that's amazing. But you need to know how to do that, and you need to know how to recognize when you're doing it and why you're doing it. Thank you for the guidance. Yay. So, okay, there are many different ways to work with me. If you want to start with the cookbooks and masterclasses, those start at $111. The cookbooks all come with meal plan templates and grocery hauls. The Breakthrough Masterclass, I've already talked about that. The Edge Masterclass is $200. That's really identifying what makes you uniquely you and how to either soften your edge or sharpen it, and really attach to stepping over the edge into your next level self. And then there's the Seduction Masterclass that goes over releasing any kind of sexual shame and calling in things from desire and seducing your dream life, dream body, dream man, dream work, and everything like that. That one, you can get for $230 right now on a fast action. And then there's the Heat Masterclass as well, which is also on replay, and you can get on a 24-hour fast action as well on stepping into your hotness. So really identifying what's holding you back and going into that flaming hot version of you. And then, of course, I have Food Freedom Acceleration. I have the 10-day trial to work with me one-on-one, which is amazing. So that means that we would be Voxering back and forth. That one's $1,111. And we would just be Voxering back and forth, really talking about whatever we want to talk about. So you could be talking about work, career, whatever's going on with you, and we could just hack your brain to really excel you and skyrocket you. And then if you decide to go into the 3-month one-on-one coaching package, that's $15,000, and you can roll in your trial into that. And then I have my Iconic Mastermind, which is $3,333. So that and my private comes with Food Freedom Acceleration. And it also includes a Voxer, but then you're with other women as well. So I can't wait. If you want to message me about what you think would be good, that's amazing. Thank you for coming. I loved talking to everyone. And see you on the internet.